You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news at 6, a Sarasota middle school teacher is facing up to a year in prison following a fight with a student.
The altercation happened one day after the Parkland school shooting, which the teacher says influenced his actions that day. ABC7's Adam Cellini joins us now with what Russo and police are saying happened. Adam?
Yes, Scott and Jacqueline, John Russo has taught and coached at Brookside Middle School for 21 years and was even named the Teacher of the Year at one point. But he's been out of the classroom since February 15th, facing criminal charges for actions he believed were in the best interest of student safety. Longtime teacher and coach John Russo has been banned from his classroom at Brookside Middle School after an incident on February 15th, one day after the Parkland school shooting. In a statement to colleagues that was posted on Facebook Saturday, Russo says he was at a track meet when he spotted someone wearing a red hoodie covering their face, which the principal banned earlier that day for safety reasons. When the 14-year-old student finally identified himself, he began cursing and threatening Russo before walking away. Kendra Carr's husband teaches at the school with Russo.
John's trying to protect his school. He's trying to protect the kids.
Russo claims he grabbed the student's arm, who began punching and kicking. It took Principal Matthew Gruel and the school resource officer also getting involved before that student was detained.
In this day and age and the heightened awareness that they had that day, how can it become a criminal charge?
That's why Carr says she posted Russo's statement online. It's since been shared nearly 1,000 times. The school resource officer's report states the security video shows Russo engaging the student first, putting him in a bear hug and pushing him against the wall with no imminent threat. Attorney Peter Collins has also seen that video.
School board's handbook clearly says that Mr. Russo had a right to detain him in an effort to enforce the school board policy. And that's what he did.
The teen's mother has filed battery charges against Russo, to which Collins has already submitted a plea of not guilty.
I'm not worried because I know that any juror that watches this video is going to come to the same conclusion that I have, and that's that Mr. Russo didn't commit a crime.
Now, John Russo has not been fired. The school district says he is on administrative duty away from the classroom until this investigation is over. Scott and Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. A Sarasota County School Board member is now calling on the superintendent to do something about the recent arrest of a Booker High School teacher. Board Chair Bridget Ziegler posted on her Facebook page a call to action saying safety and security is the top priority and that she's disappointed a local teacher accused of possessing child pornography fell through the cracks. She's asking the superintendent to do two things. First, to lay out a process to make sure the hiring process includes a screening through the Florida Department of Education's internal database, which flags any teachers under investigation. And second, to audit every hire who has not been run through that database to make sure no red flags turn up.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Florida is reminding school superintendents of students' rights. They sent out a letter to all school superintendents saying that students cannot be punished for participating in organized walkouts, saying there were many complaints of violations of students' rights after March 14th, the day of the #Enough national walkout. School administrators were reminded that punishing students for protesting is a violation of their First Amendment rights and is unconstitutional.
Northport police investigating the cause of a brush fire today. The small fire broke out at around 3 o'clock this afternoon at the area of Braddock Avenue. No injuries were reported. No buildings were affected. Just one light pole was slightly damaged and all of that. But it is still kind of dry out there.
Yes.
So we'll probably see more of those fires.
Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with our forecast this evening. Bob?
Yeah, Keach Byram Index is going to be going higher and higher each and every day this week. And so right now, no red flag warning. However, that's going to be changing, I think, by midweek. Casey Key webcam, beautiful out on the beaches today and over the weekend, too. Just a nice breeze coming in. And also, you can see that flat, calm seas. Picked up a little bit as the sea breeze tried to get going this afternoon. Never had much luck. And that means temperatures really warmed up. The high today at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport, 89 degrees. It's 87 right now. It's gone on a couple. The humidity at 31%. We have an east-northeast wind at 7, indicating that breeze has not kicked in. Had it kicked in, temperatures would be in the low 80s right now. And the pressure 30-11, that continues to rise. Temperatures around the area, 86 in Sarasota, 86 in Bradenton. A little bit cooler in Mayaca City at 84, 85 in Northport, and 77 Gulf water temperature now. And looks as though this ring of fire continues to dominate our weather now. High pressure over the southeast, refusing to budge. We'll bring in the heat, and eventually the humidity, too, will start to follow that. A little bit more so late this week. We'll talk more about that. And also, something may be popping up in the tropics, or maybe a low pressure area east of the Bahamas. Details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Bob. New details now on an overnight shooting in Northport. Police now releasing the names of the people involved in what they're claiming a justified homicide. Northport police responded to a home on Hyde Park Avenue in Northport around 4:30 this morning. When police arrived, 44-year-old James Senra was found dead on the ground in front of the home. Authorities are investigating but say it seems he was killed in self-defense.
Gentleman who is deceased, we believe that he is the aggressor in this situation and that the shooter in this case was in fear for his life and took action into his own hands.
The shooter, Matt Mullins, does have a concealed weapons permit. The state attorney's office agrees with the police department and no charges have been filed at this time.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the difference between service dogs and therapy animals and what that means for local businesses.
Plus, why Manatee County is now involved in a lawsuit with Airbnb. So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter and I'm here for you.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
CashNet USA is trusted by over 2 million customers.
Perfect. When I lean back, I trust that you will be there to catch me.
Okay, bad idea, bad idea.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a multimedia news producer with at least 2 years experience writing for TV and digital news. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
The Manatee County tax collector is suing a popular travel website, saying that the site owes the county money. ABC7 obtained a copy of that lawsuit, which in part says Airbnb is not paying its fair share in taxes. The Manatee County tax collector is trying to collect on the short-term lodging tax for rentals that last 6 months or less. Those landlords are supposed to pay a 5% tourist development tax, but since it's more difficult to track those landlords down and collect from them individually, Manatee County wants Airbnb to charge that tax up front and then pay the county directly. One local real estate broker hosting Airbnbs in Manatee County says the county would be insured to get more tax dollars if they won the lawsuit.
I think it would just benefit the county as well as making it easier for the homeowners if Manatee County did sign an agreement with Airbnb and some of the other hosting companies. It makes it easier on the guests and easier on the owners, and they will be insured to get their money.
We did reach out to the Manatee County tax collector for a statement, but they were instructed by their lawyers not to comment.
More federal money is on the way to help Florida pay for Hurricane Irma. FEMA sending $8 million to the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. FEMA has designated more than $50 million now to the state under the public assistance program since the hurricane hit 7 months ago.
Well, stay with us. Bob Harrigan will have a look at your forecast for the rest of the week ahead when we return.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-282-9643.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC7 to get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC7, we're here for you.
Well, the temperatures were great over the weekend. I mean, it was an amazing weekend, wasn't it? But now they're starting to go up a little.
They're going to go up a little bit, but still with the water temperature 77, you know, the beaches, it's a place to be. You know,
Sounds
we
refreshing.
went out there on, again, Braden Beach, and it was still packed, you know, despite the fact a lot of people have gone up. I think the locals are taking advantage of it now that the traffic isn't as bad.
Rediscovering the beach.
It's time to get back and enjoy. And this shot right here from actually Emma Grace, that's my daughter out there enjoying. She said the water was crystal clear. You can see it so well. It's just because lack of rainfall, it's not mixed up much. We have an east wind, and it makes things just beautiful out there. Casey Key webcam showing pretty much flat, calm conditions throughout most of the day. The wind's picked up a little bit. You see a little ripple there on the Gulf of Mexico, but still not bad at all. And winds will pick up in the morning, and they'll subside somewhat late morning, and then pick up again in the late afternoon and evening. We have this east to southeast wind, or east to northeast wind right now, but it will turn to the southeast more so. You see these fair weather cumulus clouds moving off to the west. Never had a chance to really get a sea breeze going because those east winds were too strong, but typically this is the setup that we see, that we start to see storms develop. But that's not there yet because the water temperatures are still relatively mild compared to what we have in mid-June. By that time, they're into the mid-80s at that point. Right now, the water temperatures in the upper 70s. Lows tonight will be in the mid-60s here, low 70s near Daytona Beach and Melbourne. We'll see a low right around 70 degrees. But for highs tomorrow, we'll warm up into the mid-80s, but I think in a lot of places we'll see upper 80s like we saw today to near 90 degrees. And then again on Wednesday morning, we'll take you through into the low to mid-60s inland areas near the beaches into the mid-60s. Titan radar, nothing to show you, and that's a direct result of this large area of high pressure which continues to dominate the weather over the southeast United States, and it will stay that way too, I think, throughout the rest of this week. Currently, we have mostly fair skies, 87 degrees, and the dew point temperature is pretty low. That makes the humidity at 31%. And as far as the forecast goes, we're going to see high temperatures nearing this mark every day. Not close to the record, though, set last year when we had 95 in 2017. Well, there it is. This is the European forecast model. You can just see skies will stay relatively clear as we march through time. Tuesday at 4 o'clock, some sunshine, some high clouds occasionally. The rain staying well down to our south. We're going to keep an eye on this area right here in the Bahamas and to the east of the Bahamas. There's a couple of models suggesting that we may see a little low pressure develop there. Here comes a cold front. And typically fronts don't have much success of getting through us, and looks like this one doesn't as a result of the high pressure ridge holding firm. This upper level low continues to bring cold rain across much of the northeast from Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, all the way down into New Jersey. They're getting that cloudiness. Here's the high pressure ridge now, and as we march through time, the front comes down, and that front will cause some showers and storms to break out. There could be some rough weather into parts of the central and southern plain states over the upcoming days, but not for us. As that east wind returns, we'll see generally fair skies with a west coast sea breeze. It'll be warm tomorrow in Kansas City and Chicago, 81 there. Even in Detroit, 80 degrees. I mentioned that little low pressure area trying to pop up here. High pressure gets shifted off to the east. We have a little something there on the radar and then moves off. There's another one to the north of that too. So we'll keep an eye on that. If it does develop, it's not going to be much and it's not going to have an impact on our weather at all, looks like, in the upcoming days. As far as the forecast goes for boaters, I mentioned those winds will be a little bit brisk to start things off at 15 knots and then subside 5 to 10 in the midday and then pick back up late in the afternoon. 7-day forecast and not much change through the period. The only thing is that we'll see a little bit higher humidity come back into play on Wednesday all the way through the weekend for that matter. Temperatures approaching 90 degrees each day, and it looks as though we'll see some sunshine though over the weekend. The weekend is going to be another great beach weekend, it looks like, despite the fact we'll see an approaching front move down. We are not anticipating any kind of storms though, and that means our Keach-Byram index, which shows the high fire danger, will get higher and higher. Right now, we're at about 500, but I think by the end of this week, it'll be up near 600, which would put us in some significant danger. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Family pets might be walking through Suncoast malls and restaurants, their owners posing them as service animals, and you may not even know it until that pet causes a scene or goes after another animal.
It's a struggle that real service animals and their handlers are facing more often. And as ABC7's Jess Dowdrick explains, there's not much the businesses can do to stop the fraud.
He saved my marriage, but more importantly, he saves my life.
Susie Wilburn suffers from a rare vision disease called Stargardt's. Instead of seeing what you or I would, she just sees sparkles. The diagnosis 9 years ago devastated her.
When I was in my state of depression, there would be times I knew if we walked, my husband and I would walk down the street, there was traffic, and I just knew if I stepped off, my husband would be free.
She felt the disease burdened her husband, though he never said that. She couldn't go anywhere without him until a new man came into her life.
When I put the harness on my dog, I took it off my husband.
Meet Carson, Wilburn's service dog.
When I am in a strange place, he's not just my guide dog, but he's my security blanket.
Carson has been specially trained to help Wilburn do things like cross a busy street and prevent her from running into anything dangerous.
With Carson, I get to do things that I never did when I was fully sighted. And I'm willing to do things I never was willing to do fully sighted. He's made me a better person.
But it's not always smooth sailing for Carson and Wilburn. On the first day after Carson graduated from Southeastern Guide Dogs, the pair went to the mall.
As we're walking through, somebody's dog popped out of their purse and barked aggressively at Carson, and I immediately spun around and said, "What kind of service dog is that?" It made our experience horrible. It's like that all the time for us.
According to the National Alliance of Therapy Dogs, Wilburn is not alone.
And people are recognizing the value of their pets and wanting to spend more time with their pets than ever before, which has contributed to people wanting to bring their pets with them wherever they go.
In just 5 minutes, anyone can go online and register their pet as a service animal. You don't need any proof. You pay an average of $20, and in the mail you'll get an ID card and a certificate. It's just as easy as well to go online and purchase a vest for your pet. That can make it hard for people to be able to tell what's truly a service animal and what's fake.
There are some disabilities where it's quite obvious that this person needs a service dog. But there are so many disabilities that are more invisible, where service dogs are very helpful, but you can't really tell from looking at the person that there's a disability.
The ADA permits businesses to ask only 2 questions of people with pets in public places. Is the animal required because of a disability? And what work or tasks has the animal been trained to perform? If the owner can't answer those questions, then
they do not have to allow them access. If that person can answer those questions, there's not much they can do unless the animal is not well behaved, creates a problem in the environment. If there's a problem with the animal in the business, they can ask that person to leave with the animal.
A business owner cannot ask what the person's disability is or ask the dog to demonstrate the skills. Service animals are allowed in public places. Emotional support animals and therapy animals are not, according to federal law.
It's a huge issue.
Wilburn now works at Southeastern Guide Dogs to help others. She feels that government-issued ID cards for service animals could solve the problem.
Like, you have to have a driver's license, you have to have an RN license, you have to have a license to be a medical doctor. Why should I not have to have a license? There's the other part of the disability community that thinks it's a huge violation of their rights, which it is. I shouldn't be treated any differently because I'm disabled.
Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Jess, thank you. It is a second-degree misdemeanor to misrepresent a service animal. And if you're not sure what the difference is between a service animal, a therapy animal, or an emotional support animal, go to our website, mysuncoast.com, look for this story, and you'll find out.
A lot of great information there.